Okay, at least that part sounds good. Now to blow out everybody's eardrums. That might help if this was closer. That can't be good because it sounded normal when the mic was back there.
Uh-oh.
Of course, I'll be sitting where you are and you'll be sitting where I am, probably. I don't know, we'll see how the audio sounds here in a second.
Hypothetically.
I tested it all beforehand because I actually had time to do that, but we'll see. It sounds like it's relatively alive, so we will find out. And switch positions in the meantime.
Oh my god. I don't know if you just heard that, but that was my hip, my back, and my shoulder.
Old age finally catching up to you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I expected you to go, what, finally? Let's see. So go to scene 2. On scenes near the bottom left should be the top scene.
Scene 2?
Yep. And then click on the Easy Grabber tab at the bottom, the one that's not highlighted. Not that one, but the other one that's got the little square. Yep, that one. And then double click it. Bingo.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's recording the cursor. I'll double check on my end. Now that I actually can, because I'm not using the crappy iPad app for once. I'm using a proper laptop.
I moved it out of the view, so it doesn't matter either way.
Okay, cool. My audio sounds good. Alright, cool. I'll check and see if it needs to be changed later. Alright, so it begins. We're not playing Mario 64, we're not doing that, which most of you have already seen the title, but we're not doing Mario 64.
Thank God.
Yeah, thankfully.
I don't think anybody wants to watch me play that.
So if you had to guess based on this title screen, because there's nothing over here for the reference's sake, so I'm not trying to double take it. So between Super Mario RPG, Original Smash, F-Zero X, which that ain't happening, I'm going to tell you right now, Paper Mario, Majora, Ocarina, Mario Kart 64, Mario Party 2, what game do you think we're playing?
I'm thinking either... Because we've talked about having me play Legend of Zelda before,
Yep.
And I have played Paper Mario Thousand Year Door.
That is true.
So I was going to think one of those two.
True. And you have played a Zelda game before. You played Skyward Sword a while
Yes, I have. Well, we talked about playing a different one.
Yeah.
You talked about having me play Ocarina, I think. If I remember correctly.
We talked
it was
about,
a couple months ago.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of... Ironically, most of the ones we talked about, fittingly enough, were ones that were hated by the Zelda community, and Skyward Sword is up there. Whenever it first came out, people did not like it. But people also hated Wind Waker, and they came around to it because people didn't like the art style, and then Skyward Sword was inspired to copy that art style, and they didn't put it in HD, and yeah.
Well, and I thought Skyward Sword was great, just the minigames are really hard.
Yeah, no, it just has a particularly bad set of minigames. It suffers Mario Party 5 syndrome a little bit in that regard. But we will be playing a game on here that is well known by many, and I invited Sherwood to join us, but he did not because he's the one that actually got me into the game. And the series as a whole.
So, for full disclosure, this will not be a blind playthrough up till the first boss. Because I have, on 4 occasions, attempted to play this game. I just got stuck at the first boss every time because I've never actually seen anybody watch it. And I guess I just never bothered to go on YouTube and watch somebody else defeat the boss.
Well, the good news is, like, you've seen bits and pieces of me play it whenever I did the marathon run, where I did it for, like, 8 hours. And you saw a pretty decent chunk of me playing the game there.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Okay, so one of the things before you start a file is if you go down to options on Z targeting, if you want to have it to switch or hold, that is up to you. I would recommend hold because there's a lot of times in small areas where, because like switching means like if you hit Z, which in this case is L on that controller, which is going to be the left shoulder button, the idea is like you can switch between targets without having to hold it down, but in a lot of areas there's a small room and you can't get out of it as a result. So if you're trying to like not L target something anymore, you can't just let go of the button. So I would recommend hold, but that's up to you, whatever you want to do for that one.
Okay. I think
I would just keep it on. I would just keep it on stereo. It's fine for sound.
All right.
And as for the brightness, the brightness on the capture card will be a little bit brighter. The game's typically not too terribly dark, but there's one section you probably will want to watch the capture card for, but it's like an optional like minigame thing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also hella blind.
For the record, we are going to be doing not complete 100% run, but we are going to be doing all heart pieces and all upgrades, which
This is the Tanaka Empire!
I will mention that there is one part in the game on all types of games where if you don't do it before a certain point, it gets cut off. I don't remember why, but like you can't go back and get it, so I'll let you know when that point comes up.
Okay.
Because it's not typically something that most people do in a normal playthrough. Most people don't bother with it. But we shall see. Oh god, the cops are coming!
Not the cops!
They knew!
They're
They knew
gonna
we were
arrest
playing this
us.
game.
We're sitting only 4.5 feet away instead of the recommended 6.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Also, thank you, Aura, for the continued subscribing thing. Thank God I turned that alert down. Whenever Caitlin and I and Brandon were playing last time, it scared the shit out of me and Caitlin because it was really loud.
Oh.
Like, you could probably hear it from, like, the balcony loud.
Oh,
And
God.
we were like, oh, I should have turned that down. I knew I forgot to do something.
There's one boy who does not have a fairy. He is so sad. So very, very sad.
He's supposed to be sleeping, but they couldn't model the eyes being shut, even though he blinks. So he's just, like, on the couch, like this, asleep.
Don't worry about it.
He's one of those people that sleeps with his eyes open.
My sister used to do that. It's
Apparently-
very distressing.
Apparently you can actually, like, process what's going on around you at least to some degree when you do that. Like, some people have actually trained themselves to sleep with their eyes open for that reason.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So how much do you know about the story of this game? Because this is kind of a big one. Skyward Sword in the timeline, if we're going by the timeline, is before this game.
So, I have a vague concept of it. The overarching storyline, I'm very iffy on.
That's fair.
I'm not sure if this is a win scenario or a lose scenario or how it fits into this.
Okay, so in short, whenever I've talked about there's like 3 timelines, the one where he wins, the one where he loses, and the kid timeline. This is where it happens. This is where the split occurs, is in this game. Basically, this is the thing that fucked the timeline over. At this point, this is like the 4th Zelda game. At this point, the only ones that have come out before this are the original Zelda, Zelda 2, and like Link to the Past. I think that's it. I think those are the only games that came before this one. Because this game just passed its 20th anniversary last year. Let me double check that. It's so nice that I can actually just like pull up shit now instead of having to like minimize tabs and go into the bottom of it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no, never mind. It's the 5th game. I forgot about Link's Awakening. I thought it was after Ocarina. The Link's Awakening isn't too terribly relevant to the timeline because it's one of those it was all a dream at the end things. It's actually done well in that game, but yeah, so no true bearing on what happens. I don't remember where it fits in terms of the timeline, though. You hump that rock.
Yeah, you go for that. Yeah, I know who Zelda is, I know who Ganon and Ganondorf are. I know who Link is, obviously.
He's you.
Yes, exactly. I know that he wields a Triforce of Courage as always, and Zelda's Wisdom, and essentially they're just trying to save the world or whatever.
You also know Navi. She's a very beloved character.
Hey,
He says
listen.
this, he lies through his teeth.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen.
Yeah, I
It
did
really
give.
can depend on such a lazy boy.
I do give Fi from Skyward Sword a lot of crap, but it's more because like she basically is a robot until the very end of the game, but she's not half as obnoxious as Navi is.
Oh yeah.
The good news is most of the time that it's not like a predetermined spot. Most of the time you can just ignore her. It's more just the sound of her like screaming at you.
Saying, hey, listen, hey, listen, hey, listen. Okay, we get it.
Alright.
Okay, so A is rolling.
Yeah, you're semi-limited in what you can do in here just because this is your house. It'll change to a 3D environment after you leave. It's just like this for the first time. Kitty Forest.
I'm sure the controls are also going to be weird because I've tried to play it on... The times that I've attempted to play it were on the DS.
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
That's what I've heard too, as part of why it was so hard to play.
So like don't get me wrong, I do think the remake is good in some regards. For one, the cutscenes, like this text speed, this is as fast as it goes with text speed most of the time. With the 3DS one, you can just like flash it up on layers and go way faster. That part is nice. And honestly, most of the time that you have to use like the motion of like looking around, most of the time it kind of works. But like for base controls, no. Like GameCube's always my go-to controller. I wish everything was on a GameCube controller. That's just personal preference. Alright, so right now basically what you're going to want to do is go for the sword and the shield, which I'm assuming you already know where at least one of those things is or have a general idea where it is.
They're in.
Yep.
Or I can just jump over it.
Yep.
That works too.
This is another little side note. If you L target that rock, which you'll have to hold it down, and then you, while you're holding down L, hold back and then hit A. Yeah, you can get rupees off of it.
Oh, nice.
It's basically teaching you how to play, like by giving you different controls, and that's what most of the NPCs around here will do.
I remember how to do this.
Yeah,
yes.
The trick is, as they'll tell you multiple times, unfortunately, up until like almost the halfway point of the game, the little blue icon at the top, the action icon, will tell you what action that Link can perform. So like, attack is typically roll, but it will tell you if you can like enter or push something or anything like that.
Rip.
I'm impressed getting just like completely destroyed by that boulder only does a quarter of a heart of damage.
Alright. Okay.
You did it, you solved the maze.
Yay! I have to buy this shit somewhere.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Got the sword on the equipment sub screen, set it with the Yeah,
okay.
we'll probably skip tutorials and I'll just explain how most of them work, but you probably already at least kind of know how they work from the last times you played. So, start will open the menu.
Okay. Start.
So there's your map. You'll probably barely be on that. Quest status, you probably will barely be on this. Equipment, you'll be on it a little bit more, but not very often. You go there to like equip and not equip items. If you hit B on that, it will allow you to save your game. If you don't want to go through like the would you like to save thing, you can just hit start again. And then the last one over to the right is your items, which that one you'll be on a majority of the time.
Nice. Alright.
So yeah, you just use your sword with B. Instead of doing the motion controls like you would with Skyward Sword, most of the time it's just mashing B. If you want technical terms, horizontal slice is B. If you do like run forward while L targeting, you can do like a stab motion. And if you're running while not L targeting, you can do a vertical slice. Usually, whatever slice you do won't matter. It's a little nitpicky with some enemies, but not very many, and the ones that are not very high in number. So in order to buy the shield, you will need a total of 40 rupees. You're not going to be able to break those, by the way. You can pick them up and throw them, but you can't destroy them with the sword. There are a couple spots here that will give you a decent amount of money. If you go into the house, like that's just across the way, that one over there, that one has treasure chests in it that have money. And there's also 5 rupees behind the house as well. No, not that one.
No.
I don't think there's anything in here. Nope. Apparently the triplets are in here, I guess.
Won't let me break the pot.
You can't use your sword indoors.
Ah.
Most of the time. There's a few exceptions, but not very many. There won't be any money in your house, by the way. A lot of games actually do that. Twilight Princess has money inside your house. Wind Waker has money under your house. But they actually give you 100 under your house. Which sounds like a lot unless you played Wind Waker, and then you know that that's actually not very much at all.
Come here. Oh, well, I already got it.
Yeah. I don't think you can cut that one just because he's messing with it.
That's annoying. Oh no.
Yeah, you can platform to get to a blue rupee up there. It's just gonna be hearts up there.
Jeez.
More hearts! Wow, they give you a lot of hearts in this area.
They really do. What do they expect that you're doing?
I don't know. I don't even think you can get to a spot where you can fall high enough to take damage, so it would just be enemies that would do you in.
No, not you.
If you go across to where the shop is with the red roof and then go to your left, there's a couple of like floating little pontoons in the water to your left. If you can jump across those without falling in, then you can get 5 rupees from that. But they're not in the store. Yay, you did it. You L-targeted. So yeah, you can L-target enemies to target them, or you can target like NPCs and whatnot to talk to them if they're kind of far away. Which I don't think is ever required for NPCs. They really push the whole L-targeting thing because this is obviously the first 3D Zelda. Because the original was NES, Zelda 2 was NES, Link the Past was Super Nintendo, and Link's Awakening was on the Game Boy Advance. Or no, regular Game Boy. But
there's nothing that... Oh, here it is.
Yeah. I was gonna say, the big thing that the L does, though, is it puts the camera directly behind you. Like, whenever I said that Star Fox Adventures completely ripped off the control scheme for this game, it really did. Whenever you played that. Because remember, L put the camera behind you in that game as well. It's the exact same thing here. Hey, by the stone. Pick it up. Yeah, I would just go into the house that's right there. I wouldn't even bother with the stones. Yeah.
I know where the door is. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you.
For anybody that plays the randomizer runs of Zelda, where basically, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do, but the idea is it shuffles every item in the game. This is like a big, big area to come to right when you start the game, because there's potential to get really good items really early on.
Get the Master Sword.
Whenever Brandon and I first played it, we got the light arrows, which you're supposed to get at pretty much the end of the game, and the Megaton Hammer, and then I think we got one other thing from it. It also shuffles the freeze traps, because there are some chests in this game when you open them they'll just freeze you.
Oh my god.
Which is great if you do that and combine it with one-hit KO mod, which means you just die in one hit, so you can just open a chest and die immediately.
Rip.
Alright, so that should be enough money because there's actually another hidden 5 rupees in the shop, so you should be good with what you have right now. So the shop is the place with the red roof.
Yeah. I'm just enjoying throwing stuff.
Because oddly enough, you don't really need money in this game very often. It's kind of weird, but... Like, you do need it for minigames and stuff like that, but it's definitely not as fundamental of a thing in, like, say, Wind Waker, for example. sell shields, but not swords. Sir, I think you need to get a chair in here.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so you equip this, and basically R is your shield. Whenever you just hold R, you'll stay in place, but if you hold, if you hold R while you're Z targeting, then you can move around while shielding.
Sweet.
Also, if you go back, like into that back corner on the right, and just go back there, another 5 rupees there.
Yay! So...
Yeah, you can just hit L or R to scroll through these a little bit faster, too. There you go.
Alright.
You got a sword and you got a shield.
Woohoo! So now to the,
Yep, to the Great Deku Tree. Which you can probably guess where that is based on looking at the map at the bottom.
Oh no.
Yeah, yellow arrow is you, the red arrow is the last exit that you came from. Nope.
Nope. Hey, buddy boy.
If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield.
Look at me.
And what's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the Great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how did you get to be the favorite of Sari and the Great Deku Tree? Huh? Grumble, grumble. I'm doing a bad impersonation of Lecter from Yu-Gi-Oh! Ooh, you should kill those. Yeah.
Yeah, can we get the thing?
Get a Deku stick.
Yay!
Your first item. So these are typically used as torches where you can light one torch and then pass it to another. The big thing about these, though, is they're actually, even though they break if you attack with them, they're twice as strong as the sword you currently have. Which means if you have a lot of them and use them like a sword, they're actually as strong as the Master Sword.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Because the Master Sword is double damage from the Kokiri Sword. And because it's a giant stick, it also has way more range as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I know you had mentioned fighting one of the big bosses with...
I fight every boss in Child Timeline with the Deku sticks. The downside is once you turn into an adult, because you already knew about that, you can't access them as an adult. There's some items you can't use as an adult. The Deku sticks are one of them. Tragically, the boomerang is one you also don't get to use as an adult, which is a real shame, because the boomerang is kind of fucking awesome.
That's sad.
And I would have liked to have seen it more, but I guess we can't have nice things.
Nah.
Yeah, so this guy talks a lot, and it's a bit of a pain.
I'm glad that it automatically defaults to,
Yeah, the correct
yes,
answer.
the correct
Yeah,
answer, though.
there's a character that is very hated in this game that it always defaults to the incorrect answer.
God. Alrighty.
I will say, one of the things I do like and dislike about this game is, in particular, and I get why, at the very beginning it's pretty cutscene heavy. In me typically running this game, I can get to the cutscene with Zelda, the first cutscene with Zelda, at about 30 minutes, and only about 8 to 9 minutes of that is actual gameplay. The rest of it is all cutscene. And that just kind of is a little disgusting.
A little bit, yeah.
You got the Deku Nut. These are basically, like, all they typically do is stun enemies. But I did not give them credit growing up, and they're actually really good for a lot of things. They can kill a lot of weaker enemies really easy. They can damage the fucking final boss of the game, which I didn't know about until, like, last month. I had no clue that they could do that, but yeah, they can damage the final boss of the game. Also enjoy that beeping noise, because, yeah, whenever you're low on health, you'll hear it, and it's very annoying.
Joke's on you, I got a heart. I got 2 hearts.
Make up for my lack of one.
Should be facing the right way. For
Yeah,
targeting.
that's one of the things they actually penalize you for in this game, is if you just slash wildly, Link won't change direction to face the enemy until you stop slashing.
Thank you. Would appreciate it. Another heart, please. It probably doesn't like me doing this.
Yeah, it probably has. Oh, no, maybe not. I was supposed to say it probably has a cap, but I guess maybe it's just like a percentage thing. Also, yes, there are spiders in the game, but they look very unrealistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. I remember them.
Hey.
What's up?
Not if he wanted you to listen. I should probably just mention something about the spider web. Yeah, jumping this game, you just keep walking forward while you're near a ledge. It probably will never come into play, but as a side note, for any time that a rupee appears like that, is for a lot of objects, if it's supposed to guarantee give you a heart, it will give you a green rupee if you're at full.
Oh, he's so small, he has to like...
Yeah, like practically jump into the chest to get it. Hey, you got the map!
Yay!
These might come in handy for you, but as somebody who's played this game way too many times, I usually just fucking skip the map and the compass.
Probably would be helpful to me, just because I get lost all the time.
You can open a door by standing in front of it and pressing A. Pay attention to what the action icon says. That's the blue icon at the top of the screen. I've read this way too many times.
I can tell.
Ugh. You did it. Now go get him. Dance around like a madman.
Come here.
I think he backed into you, but we'll take it.
Don't worry about it.
When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold int forward, you'll roll on the ground so you won't get hurt.
Can't guarantee it'll work though if it's really, really tall. I mean, yeah.
I kind of like that idea because it just like gives you the feeling of like, yeah, there's some spots where you can jump off a really high cliff, and there are some spots where you can literally jump halfway down a mountain.
Okay.
There's no enemies in here, you're good. Well, hope you weren't planning on using that to get back.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Yeah, a lot of people actually don't use that platform, and they just get there by climbing this. And then when they come back, they just take the platform so they don't have to knock down the ladder.
Yeah, no, that makes
back.
sense. Come here. I think part of why I'm having so much trouble with the controls is just because I'm used to the DS and
Yeah.
the crappy controls.
Well,
The
'cause
controls in that one are not great.
Well, yeah, because like this game, keep in mind it was designed on an N64, so it's 8-direction control. It's up, down, left, right. It's basically all the basic compass directions. And the DS uses a full 360 circle pad.
Yeah.
And like that change shows. But now you got the slingshot, which is basically a slingshot. You put it on one of your C buttons. You can hold down C and then move around with it. I usually keep it on down to make it feel like you're actually firing a proper slingshot. But that's more personal preference than anything.
Alright. Okay. Oh, love that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna... Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's pretty forgiving on earlier shots. Later on, it will not be so forgiving with stuff. As a side note, there is one more chest in this room, but we're not going to bother with it because it's just a recovery heart.
That's fair. If I remember, it's also like really difficult to get to as well.
Yeah, that spot you're in with the slingshot, there's like a little thing of ivy to your left, and you just climb up the wall and get it. It's not really important for like a normal run through, but for anybody playing a randomizer, a lot of people forget it and then end up needing it. I think when Brandon and I played the first one, it had... I want to say the ice arrows, which aren't required, but like I could easily see somebody forgetting that chest and then being like, "Oh crap, that had like the big Goron sword in it or something really powerful." keep in mind you can also L target these enemies, and it will like auto aim the. If you like look up at it, and then once you see the like yellow dot above them or the yellow arrow, yeah. And then if you just fire while you're holding down, it'll automatically aim for you.
I did just a second ago, no problem.
And then you just hold down the C, and then let it go.
I was doing it too quickly.
Yeah, there's a couple more that are on here. I think there's 3 total.
Yeah, go die in hell.
Yeah, the last one it probably won't let you target with the L button because it's up kind of high, but you can still knock it out. It had to work a little bit, but I got there. Alright, cool.
I think it barely got it, but barely is still got it.
I think you can still get that. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
You got Deku seeds. This is just your ammo for your slingshot. That's all it is.
Sweet. Love how I just clipped right through that.
There actually is a small spot behind it. It just doesn't register the chest as a 3D model when it's opened, only when it's closed.
I think I gotta go all the way around here.
Yeah, you have to go up and then left or right. It doesn't matter. They both take you to the same spot. The thing about doing that, though, is, as randomizers will tell you, you actually don't need to kill the Waltilas to get past. The way they work in this game is when they see you moving, they'll turn purple, and then they'll target you. But if you stop moving right when they notice you, then they just stop noticing you, and they might just turn the other way and just let you go by them. Okay. You don't actually have to kill any of them. Now, can you solve the puzzle?
Making a TikTok sound.
Yep, that's because the Switch is on a timer. Okay. Well, that works. Oh, you found the gold skull shell. You should kill it. But be careful when fighting it, because those things do a full heart of damage if they hit you.
Oh, well, damn. Just say
I mean, he won't move around. He's just on that wall. So you can just like pick him up with a slingshot or sort. For whatever reason, though. Well, for whatever reason, you can't target gold skulltulas in this game with the L targeting. It's one of the few enemies that you can't L target.
What?
I don't know why, but you can't. See down.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
See down again. There you go. And you got a token. Like I said, we're not going for all these, but I'm still gonna have you pick up as many as you can. So while you solve the remaining puzzles of this room, it's time to use the bathroom.
Missed. Door. That was beautiful. Totally nailed it. I got the compass! Woohoo! Alright. Out of curiosity, how many times do y'all figure I can just come back and kill this guy? I'm aware that I'm full on the seeds. I would just rather like the heart. That's okay. I'll take about 8 of those, though. Apparently that one's dead then. Alright. So, the answer to this puzzle is that. Oh. Let's see where that goes. Oh, nowhere. What a shame. Alright. So, is there anything else for the next step? Okay. Alright. Ah, damn. Ooh, that went well. We're just gonna pretend that didn't happen, okay? I'll just pretend that didn't happen. This is fine. Shh. You didn't see nothing. You didn't hear nothing. I still have the, that's not what I wanted. Yeah. Okay.
It got very dark in like the 3 minutes that I was gone.
Pretty much, yeah.
So did you figure your way out of the room?
Oh, yeah, I just lit the other thing on fire. I just also found the compass and everything first.
Cool.
And I definitely didn't die from doing a stupid jump from way too high. Definitely didn't happen.
Nope. Even though that's what you were supposed to do.
I mean, I knew what I was supposed to do, I just, missed.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I can tell you a funny story about another person dying in this room. And no, it was not Brandon or me. It's not in the original game. It is in the 3DS version, and I think you can unlock it on Master Quest mode. There is a hero mode where one of the things that happens is you take double damage from everything. and I can't remember who it was. It wasn't like somebody from Nintendo, but it was like somebody that does like Zelda Dungeon or like a pretty well-known Zelda fan source. And they live streamed Hero Mode when it first came out, and they went into that room with the compass with 2 hearts. And because everything does double damage, I told you the gold Skulltula does a full heart of damage. That means it does 2 hearts of damage in Hero Mode. And he got too close to it when he tried to kill it, and it killed him.
Yep.
This is a guy that's like known for doing walkthroughs of every Zelda game, knows them all really well, knows them by heart, and then he dies in the first dungeon of the game.
Sounds
Like, even on Hero Mode, that's pretty bad.
I was able to get past him alright the first time.
I mean, you could also shoot him down, too.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
It will only L target whenever there's like that yellow dot above them, so that's why it's kind of picky about it. Which the yellow dot is actually Navi herself. Like, she's supposed to be targeting the enemy, being like, Link, this is who you want to go after, but it's kind of hard to tell because her wings are also not lit up, probably because it's easier to just like highlight the asset of a dot rather than a dot with wings.
Agreed. Alright. So, I know that I'm supposed to use the fire to get down here.
No, you don't need the fire.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
I like how whenever you hit him in the back the first time, he just like spins around in disgust. Like, how could you?
Like, how dare. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Alright. Hoping for the best. Preparing for the worst. Like that.
Hey.
Was there a particular way I was supposed to do that?
Just hit it right in the center. You have to be like relatively on top of it, but you can adjust how you fall in midair a little bit. I think this is one of the only times, if not the only time, that gravity is actually used as a solution to a puzzle. Of like you falling onto something to break it. I don't think it ever comes up anywhere else in the game. He wants your butt.
He can have it. I will cut it off and throw it very far away from me. Oh, jeez.
Using your butt as a distraction in a very different way than normal.
Yep.
Just, here, take it.
He can have it. I don't want it.
Just like cutting off an arm. You don't need it that much. Take it.
You know, if the spider wants it, then it wants what it wants, and who am I to argue with it?
Since you have not yet have the power to light things on fire, which is available in this game through a couple of uses actually.
Dude, it's terrible. I swear that my child has some kind of magical connection to spiders and summons them somehow. Not that one. No. Not that one. Let's try this again.
Yeah, I would just say, like, if you're going for something where it's more of, like, they're high up rather than, like, far away but on the same level, then don't bother with the L targeting. Like, if they were on ground level with you, then it's super easy to L target stuff. When they're kind of up in the air like that, it's a little bit harder. And it's easier to just do it manually.
But yeah, we found another spider near Mason today, and I'm just like, nope, nope.
No
Nope.
thanks.
Who wanted this child? Because if she is the child of
Apparently the spiders.
it's
The
not
spiders
me.
wanted this child.
Oh, Jesus.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Finally. About time.
Nice.
Got him. Sweet.
Now, can you solve the puzzle in this room?
I think
There are a couple gold sculptures in here too that you can get right now. I'll just go and tell you that, like, side over there with all the torches, that's not something you can use yet. All that stuff over there you can't get to.
Yeah, I'm looking for the sculptures. It's gonna be, like, right above me, and it's gonna make me cry.
No, it's not above you. Well, one of them is sort of above you, but not directly above you. Oh, you found it.
Okay, I can't use that.
No, there's only one weapon that you can use while you're underwater, and you will not have it as a kid.
Where? Die. Die.
There's one of them. Let's go show that you got a token proving you destroyed it.
Is it also up here?
No.
Okay.
That's technically a different room if you go, like, higher up. It counts as a different room because it's on a different floor.
Why can't I jump from off the wall?
No.
Sorry, I make weird noises.
I just like how you didn't see it till you were, like, almost on top of it.
I don't see very well.
You can actually reach that from there if you get up on top of that platform and then jump to it.
Hey. Or if I miss.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, weird jumps you can do in this game to make it to stuff that you're not supposed to, or stuff that looks like you can't make it to. Which is why a lot of tokens you can get to by backflipping.
Weird.
Yeah. Where it's just like, oh, that's just barely out of reach, and you're supposed to have an item to do that, and then it's... No, you don't. You just backflip to it. I'll bet it's something really valuable, he says as he lies.
Woohoo. Alright, so I bet you I gotta take this over here. Damn it. Okay. So clearly that is not the right way to go about it.
You had the right idea.
I just now saw the whatchamacallit. Okay.
The good news is if a stick does, like, fall in the water like that while it's on fire, then you don't lose it.
Damn it. I missed. Okay. Woohoo.
No, but it ran out. You took too long.
Alright.
Yeah, they're not very lenient on the time that they give you to
Really
burn that spider web. The one upside is for later puzzles, and I could be wrong about this, but it seems like if you would, like, say, have to light multiple torches at the same time with one stick, if you get to the first one, it seems like it resets the timer for it.
Alright. Nothing else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay.
That's all that's here right now.
Alright. Oh no, I have to go get it.
You don't technically have to. He just gives you a tip about a later area in this floor. He basically says that in the penultimate room of this thing that you have to kill the 3 of his kind in a certain order, and so, yeah, 2, 3, 1. So the one on the far right, then the one on the far left, and then the one in the center. I think if you play the Master Quest version, they actually don't give you that hint, and they also change the order as well, so you actually do have to trial and error it to figure out what the actual answer is. I think it stays the same in each Master Quest file, but it is interesting that they do that. And no, we are not going to be doing a playthrough of Master Quest. I beat that game once and I'm not doing it again. Even though I do have a copy of it.
I just want to swim.
Yeah, you can just jump in. You're looking for a switch that's underwater. Because that spike trap is too high as it is right now.
This spot? Okay, so what am I supposed to do to it?
That camera.
Appreciate the help.
You did it.
Oh really? It actually stays down on its own? That's nice.
Just for a limited time.
Alright. So now I want to get up on here.
Yep.
I have to come all the way over. Okay.
This was a thing that took me a long time to figure out in the Master Quest version of this, because in the Master Quest version you actually have to hold down, the shield button like that, because it still doesn't give you enough clearance in that. But in the normal run, you don't even have to do that. Yeah, like I said, there's like a lot of just unskippable crap like this. If you stand next to a block and hold up, then you climb on top of it. If you just stand next to it without pressing up, then you can grab it, and then you can push or pull it with up or down. I didn't think you need to... Oh no, it actually just pushes it over. Okay. I was gonna say, I don't even think you actually need to kill the skill children. Now you will.
What's up?
He's just gonna hang out there until you get close enough to where he'll start spinning around. Oh, you might have actually like locked him in place. You might need to pull the block back so he can get down far enough.
Oh, damn.
I don't think you can stun him with a Deku Nut to get around him, so yeah, you'll have to pull the block back slightly.
I can. Maybe.
I know you can stun him like that. I don't think it'll let you.
No,
Yeah, I was supposed to say.
I can't climb on top of it.
Because I was thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, you probably could stun him, but. I'll bet now you could stun him and get a pass on the left side barely. Maybe you'd have to pull it one more time.
No.
No.
No,
I think you'd have to pull it like one more time towards the left again.
Yeah.
And then you might have enough clearance without killing him where you can just stun him and go past him.
Yeah, I think so. Alright, let's just try this the normal way.
Because that's what a speedrunner would do if they were actually going through this room, is they would just not push the block all the way, because you don't need to push it all the way. That's just what I did most runs, is if you kill the Skull Shield, you only have to push it, I think, once, and that's like just barely enough clearance to get you up there.
Yeah, that was exactly enough. I could have gone around him. Hey. Your face. Appreciate it.
There's also another enemy over there if you need another Deku stick. He'll just infinitely respawn.
Appreciate it.
It's weird to think that the gap between this game and Skyward Sword is only, or that it is 10 years and like that much of an advancement happened in like graphics and gameplay between then and now. At least I think it was 2008. It was somewhere around that time.
Wait.
It might have been earlier than that.
I need to go out this way?
Yeah, you need, no, other way. Remember the red arrow shows the door that like you just came in from on the map.
Like.
Oh, 2011, my mistake. So 12 years, 11 years, depending on if we're going by Japan, release, or U.S.
Okay. I
Oh,
don't
look, eggs.
like those.
Well, they're not spider baby eggs, but I would still kill them before walking into that room. You're not gonna be able to L target those; they're too far away.
I'm not sure how I missed.
The hitbox on these is a little weird. You have to aim a little bit higher than it looks like you would. Yeah, like that. It's
That's a lot higher.
Yeah, it's probably because the game doesn't expect you to like actually try and kill these before you get in the room, because most people just run straight in. So I think it's probably like higher more so than left or right. I don't think the left or right hitbox is too bad. I think it's more the height. Yeah, because that was like
That was pretty bad.
at least a foot difference. There you go. Now they're all dead.
Alright.
Alright, now can you solve the puzzle of this room?
Do I want to stand in the middle?
I mean, there's no other enemies other than that guy right there that'll infinitely respawn to give you Deku sticks. That's it. There's a guy behind that wall, but he's stuck behind that wall.
Don't want to go ahead and free him.
Kill them.
Thank you.
So we probably will never come back to this room just because like it's so far out of the way. But if you come back there with bombs, then you can bomb that wall out, and there's a gold skulltula back there. But you have to come back with bombs.
Oh, shoot.
I would just, yeah. There you go. No,
Yeah.
never mind.
I missed it.
Yeah. If you ever feel like it's gonna run out before you get to wherever you need to go, if you stand still and then hit A, it will let you put it away, and then you can save the Deku stick. It'll put out the fire as well, but it will save the Deku stick from being used up. Somewhere in the game, someone tells you that, but I don't remember if it's like a gossip stone or what it is. But someone somewhere does mention that. I bet they were really proud of themselves for being able to do this effect at the time.
I mean, for the time, it's not bad.
I mean, I don't think... Well, no, they did reuse it. They used it in Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I was going to say I don't think they reused it until Skyward Sword, but no, they used it in Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I don't think it ever came up in Majora, though. I don't think I remember anyway. I would refrain from jumping down there if I were you.
Yes, I just recognized what room we're in. I'm gonna go ahead and assume we have to push this off while not pushing ourselves off.
Well, even if you push that block off, that will give you a shortcut to get back up.
Oh, okay.
But you have to push it down there anyway to be able to solve the puzzle in this room.
Give me more hearts. Alright. So. The puzzle.
So the answer is something that you've already suggested before when solving a previous puzzle.
Light it on fire. Not sure what it is, but it's going to be on fire.
Well, I mean, even more specifically than that,
This.
like you had said exactly what you were supposed to do, and I said like close but not it. It was for a different thing. Nice jump.
That was a very nice jump.
There you go. You'll land in water, you'll be fine.
Totally fine. Okay, so I would like one of these.
I'm pretty sure you can just swim into it without even having to dive. I'm pretty sure they're low enough where you'll just, like, clip into them.
Okay. I'm gonna leave those two.
Now, can you remember the puzzle that you were given the answer to earlier?
Absolutely not. How dare.
Can you remember 3 numbers?
Oh, jeez. Ow. Okay, first of all. Dude. Oh, I'm not facing the right direction.
If you L target them and then shield, then it will always knock it back exactly how it needs to go. You just have to be close enough to them, but not so close that they hide. Remember, you have to hit these in a certain order as is. It's because you weren't directly facing it. It's just easier to L target them by getting, like, kind of close to them. So that little yellow dot pops up. Yeah, and then just wait there and hold. Yeah. That will always reflect it back perfectly.
Where are you?
I'm impressed it gave you that, because you did it in the wrong order.
2, 3, 1.
Yeah, but you shot the one on the left last, so you went 3, 2, 1. That's why I'm confused.
I did the one in the middle. I did the one in the middle, which is 2. The one on the right, which is 3.
It was 2, 3, 1. So the one in the middle is 3. You're supposed to hit the right one and then the left one and then the center. Because that's the order you hit them in. It's like the one you hit first and then the 3 you hit last. So 2, 3, 1 would have been right, left, center. I don't know why I gave that to you, but okay.
Don't worry about it.
Oh well, have fun fighting the boss.
I will not.
Because this is the fight that you've never gotten past, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not good at division?
Probably just because I have issues.
Yeah, because you never fought Goma in Skyward Sword. Like, it's not a boss. It's, like, Goma's a pretty recurring boss in the Zelda series. Like, it's in Twilight Princess, it's in Wind Waker, it's in a couple of the 2D games as well. It's a mini-boss in a lot of the other 2D Zelda games. It's a pretty common boss, but I guess it never shows up in Skyward Sword. You're supposed to, like, use the up on the C-stick to look for it. He's hanging out on the ceiling. Or she's hanging out on the ceiling. You'll see the giant glowing yellow eye. Hello, friend. It's long division, everyone's worst enemy. I don't know why they gave it a division sign for its eye, but they did.
Because why not?
I mean,
Okay, so I'm supposed to stun her, right?
So when the eye turns red, yeah, that's when you stun her and then you just go in and attack. Now the thing that they don't tell you about this fight, and you can stun her while she's on the ceiling too with the slingshot, because her eye will turn red, she's going to try and lay eggs.
Oh god.
Like right now.
I do not want her to do that.
And then she already did.
Yeah.
Those you can just hack and slash at. They take like 2 hits, but they're not terribly tough. After you hit them once, they'll run away, and then they'll come back, and you just hit them again.
Frick. Oh no. Oh no.
I was just going in hard right now.
Where are are the hearts?
There's like little plants, I think, that are around the arena. I think. Maybe they're not in this version. Maybe that's only in the... Oh, there's one.
Oh, very helpful. Thank you.
They'll almost always give you like items, like pretty much hearts and like items that are required to beat a boss in, at the very least in the kid dungeons for sure. So the thing that they don't tell you about stunning her is that if you stun her with the slingshot, she stays stunned for longer than if you stun her with a Deku knife. You have to be like more accurate with it and use the L targeting, but it does stun her for a longer amount of time. That's why she jumps back out of it so quickly when you use the Deku knights.
Okay, so where is she?
It's on the ceiling.
Because of course.
Oh, now she's back on the ground.
Oh, shoot.
So yeah, you can only get about one hit in whenever you're using the Deku nuts, but with the slingshot you can get 3. You can't L-target her because she's on the ceiling. Like I said, it's really good for targeting stuff like across the room when it's on the same level as you. Whenever you're on like different levels in terms of a Y-axis, they really don't prefer it. It's easier to either target manually or not bother targeting it.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Fuck.
She's stuck. There you go. You probably got her pretty close to dead. You hit her with a couple Deku sticks.